And we are live. Welcome to the process. It is Wednesday, March 15th. I am Josh Engleman, here to break down a 7-game NBA slate. Coming off of yesterday's 8-gamer. Not fun. Got 5 into the top 1%, so that's all I could hope for. I could already feel the talking and vibrations in my face, making my nose ready to sneeze. So I feel better, but I'm still pretty congested. So that should be fun. We'll have the same sort of experience we've had for the past 2 days. It's good to have everybody here. So good morning to everybody. Nice to see everybody. Good start to the day. We got 7 games to break down. We got some coffee to drink. I'm on the deeper dive tonight, so you guys can tune into that. Myself and Adam will be breaking this one down at 5:30 later today. Prize Picks videos, No House Advantage videos, Contenders videos will all be out early this morning. Went 3-2 in the Prize Picks video yesterday, so sort of kept up the heater, up to 30-12. I also posted another card on my Twitter feed. Also went 3-2 there. So like 33-14 run. Heater, baby. Heater. Give me 1 second. Already got the first sneeze out of the way. There we go. It's going to be one of those shows. But yeah, in general, my body feels significantly better, but there's so much pressure right here. And I mean, when you got this kind of beak, think about the amount of pressure that can build up. It's really crazy. But anyway, hit that like button if you haven't done it already. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live, and follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. Lots to talk about. Thaddeus Brown, today is the day. You know what, bud? I hope you're right. I think we're going to start tomorrow off feeling pretty good. Too much RJ Hampton yesterday. That didn't go well. Yeah, there it is. There's the Hampton message right on cue. It's a good play. Just, didn't work out the way that you would want it to. I didn't even look at his final line or anything. I know how bad it was at one point in time. Let's see. Detroit, Washington. Played 27 minutes, 2 of 7. The only starter to take less than 12 shots. And not only was the other number 12, that was done by Omarui, who only played 20 minutes. So RJ Hampton just didn't participate at all offensively, which is really special to see. Just an annoying game all around. Very, very, very annoying. Larry, I would say that there's going to be an over on that 4.5 if I had to guess. I had a ton of Beal last night too. I had enough of the pieces to get me into the top 1%. Like I said, I had 5 top 1% lineups. That was pretty good for yesterday's slate. Actually, I haven't even looked. Let's see how good was 5 1%ers. Ultimately, I didn't have anything great. Shout out to Tom. I think he finished 10th last night. It was a great day for the 150 maxers. They finished 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and then 10th with Tom. Oh yeah, top 1% lineups. So of the 150 maxers, we want top 265. Yeah, Papa Gates at 22. Born at 16. Good Seats got to 10. No, I have more than 4. I know I have more than 4. Did I read that wrong this morning? 267. Oh, I'm right outside the door. Got it. So I guess I had 4 then. But either way, 4 will work. 4 is almost the top page. It's more than most. Anyway, I'll take 4 1%ers. That's all I can hope for. That's 4 bullets in the top 267. We'll take what we can get. Let's get into this slate. Let's do that. How's that sound, folks? If you're here and you haven't hit the like button yet, do so now. It's coffee time. I'm excited for it. Got to take some meds as well, but cheers to you guys. Rise and grind. That's what we're looking for around these parts. Enjoy your morning drinks, folks. Yeah, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Let's take the old fish oil. I'm debating on going to the gym today. I don't know what I should do. So I went last Monday. Obviously, I was out of town up at my dad's house for the rest of the week. Didn't make it to the gym on Monday. Obviously, was in no position to do that. Now I feel like I should go, but at the same time, I am going to be a sniffling mess, and that seems kind of gross. All right, let's do this now, folks. Let's get into this slate. Bada bing. Wait, actually, before we get into it, lineup generator, $4.48. Folks, scan the QR code or hit the description of this video. Go sign up for our lineup generator. We handle all the work on the back end for you. We generate the lineups. We get rid of the ones that we don't think are any good. We present the rest to you. If you want chalky builds, contrarian builds, balanced builds, we show you the projections, the ownership, our optimal rates. If you like the lineup, click save. If you don't, click discard, and another one just pops up for you to evaluate, swap guys out, lock them in, at least up to 20, CSV, export. It's a no-brainer for you guys. Take care of it now. Go get the lineup generator. A little cardio will clear the sinuses. Swim in a heated pool. All right, don't have access to a heated pool. I have access to a very cold pool in my backyard, which is clean enough to get into, but and would probably be a good thing, but that's not happening. Well, sick is relative. It is at this point. This is just the stuff he knows. That can't be the only barrier. A little cardio though seems like the right idea, but like I could go for a run. You know, is that the better idea? Just go for like a pretty long extended walk outside. What's the weather like for today? Is it going to be nice enough that I can go for like a pretty extended walk? Well, we have a freeze warning. High of 53. That's pretty cold for here right now. It feels like 23. But we'll have a feels like high of 50. But that's not till like late afternoon. Take the dogs for a walk. Can only walk one of the dogs at this point. The pug doesn't get walks. He can't see, can't hear, and the legs don't work the way they used to. So he's on yard duty pretty permanently at this point. All right, let's get into it. I'll let you guys know what I decide tomorrow morning. We're going to start it off pretty easily here with the Philadelphia 76ers in Cleveland, 217 total. Sixers are 1.5 point favorites. And right away, we've got Cleveland on the back-to-back. But the even bigger piece here is that this game is not going to be all that interesting. These are two teams that, Cleveland's 30th in pace. Philly's 27th. Philly is at full strength, except for Jalen McDaniels has a Q tag. It sounds like you're talking about my grandpa, sort of. So there's not really much to do here for Philly. We've got James Harden in for 38 minutes, which is what I think he's going to play in a competitive version of this game. I got 36 minutes for Embiid. Again, that looks fine to me. 34 for Maxey. I'm going to go to 32 on Tobias Harris. But there's not much here. And it's not going to be that kind of matchup either. The Cleveland side is a little bit different because, well, for two reasons. One, we don't know who's going to play today. We did not have Donovan Mitchell yesterday. Finger sprain or something. And then Jared Allen also didn't play yesterday. Missed Sunday's game as well. My assumption, we're going to get both of these guys back today. So let's go ahead and project this entire rotation. So for Cleveland, we're going to get Garland starting at the point, 35 minutes. I'm going to get Mitchell in for 36. We're going to get Isaac Okoro in for 26. We're going to get Evan Mobley in for 34. And then we're going to get Jared Allen in for 32. 30. Yeah, 32. Okay. That piece is easy. We get Mobley in as the backup 5. That part's simple as well. Ricky Rubio gets... Well, he probably doesn't play today on the back-to-back, actually. When's their last back-to-back? Thursday, Friday. Rubio didn't play the front end. Let's assume that Ricky Rubio doesn't play today. We'll give Raul Neto the backup point guard run. And then the rest of this should be pretty easy. We're going to get Karis LeVert in for something in the neighborhood of 28 minutes. Now we have 36 minutes to split between looks like Lamar Stevens and then probably a little Chetty. Could be nobody. You know, the last time that everybody was healthy, they went to an 8-man rotation. If you're ever going to do that against Philly, seems like the more likely scenario. But I think we're going to go like 18 to Lamar Stevens and 18 to Chetty and call it a day. JR, pace metric is just simply your average amount of possessions per 48 minutes. Now, rates we do have to update because of Donovan Mitchell. We had no Mitchell yesterday. It changes things. So the good news is we do know what the starting lineup for Cleveland looks like. But what we really want is Mitchell starting, Allen starting, Mobley starting, and Garland starting. What do we have when those 4 guys all start? Oh. Okie dokie. All right. Wow, those rates still aren't up. I thought that would have taken more time. Perfect opportunity for me to take a sip of coffee. And JR, there are better ways to look at pace now. You know, it's sort of 2 separate pace calculations for if you want to get really advanced. I don't really see the need for that at this point. But if you're trying to do some like higher level analysis, a lot of people will use possession time. So like time from getting the ball on offense to taking your first shot and vice versa. All right, here we go. Karis LeVert usage rate when those 4 guys start is at 16.5. Garland is at 26.5. Mitchell's at 31. Mobley is at about 20. And then Jared Allen is at his standard 16.8. I think my dog's outside. Give me 1 second. Nope, I was wrong. Could have swore I heard him come up the steps. Maybe he gave up pretty quickly when I didn't let him into our bedroom. Apologies in advance, Riggs, for making you chill on the couch downstairs. Don't really have any other rates that I need to change from an assist perspective. This is a team that doesn't miss a lot of time, so their baseline rates tend to stabilize pretty easily. Even like rebounding rates are pretty spot on. So that's going to be Philly, Cleveland. We're not going to care too much about this game. I know that sounds ridiculous, but like, I think Garland, assuming everybody's in, I think Garland is the best option from Cleveland. 7,600 is just too cheap of a price tag. Now, that said, and by the way, him playing 28 minutes yesterday really hurt. He was looking like he could have made, I had his over in points. I think it was like 21 and a half or something, or maybe 20 and a half. Finished with 19, I think. Needed that one on Prize Picks. So, Garland, your best option. Allen looks good, but again, we're going to have plenty of centers in that 6K range. Donovan Mitchell is fine at 9,300, but it's just really hard to not want to go to Garland in that scenario. These guys are not all that different. And then for Philly, I mean, this is going to be very, very obvious. If you want anybody, it's Embiid and Harden. I don't think either one of them look all that great. You can take a shot on a little bit of Tobias Harris or Tyrese Maxey. But again, this is not the kind of game you're looking for DFS. Next game up is going to be Memphis. 4-point dogs in Miami, 220 total. For Memphis. Clearly no Ja Morant still. No Jake LaRavia, Vince Williams, Steven Adams. So I think we're going to get the same rotation we've had for basically the past 4 games, but sort of the most recent 2 as well. So we got 33 minutes here for Tyus Jones. Keeping that. I got 22 minutes for Luke Kennard. That needs to come down. Hasn't played that in the previous 4 games. We're going to take him down to 19. We then get Desmond Bane for 33. I think that looks fine. We get Tillman in for 30. I'm going to make that 29. Santi Aldama, I have in for 24. That feels about right. 31 for Jaren Jackson. I can't go any higher than that. Roddy in for 19. Played a little bit more. We're going to get him up to 21. We'll keep Brooks in for 31. Or do I make that 32? Making it 32 on Brooks. And then John Conchar, we could leave in for 18. Rates all stay the same, so that piece for Memphis is pretty easy. We go to Miami then. Miami could be interesting. We got the Q tag on Kyle Lowry. Still no Cody Zeller. Jovic, Orlando Robinson, and Jamal Cain are all with the G League team. Because of the pace up spot here, Miami could be a little interesting. Josh, good morning. Us Joshes need to stick together. All right, so Bam in for 36. Yurtsevin backup. We got 19 minutes out of Kyle Lowry on Monday after playing 36 on Saturday. So feels like I should be going 24 to Lowry. Lowry and Vincent basically split the time. So I'm going to go 24-24 on those guys, at least for right now. We got 20 minutes out of Victor Oladipo. I need 20 minutes out of Victor Oladipo. I got 34 here for Hero. That needs to become 35. We got very minimal Max Strus. I don't trust that at all. Caleb Martin played 26. Scares me a little bit. I got Butler in for 34. That also scares me. I never get Jimmy Butler right. Ever, ever, ever. Feel like I should make that 33 for Jimmy Butler. But, man, I don't know what to do with Max Strus's minutes. I guess I got to cut them at least a little bit further and to give Kevin Love 20. I don't think that's going to matter at all. Let's take a look at that for Miami. I can't imagine this is all that interesting. What's Kevin Love's usage rate since he's come to Miami? It's really the only thing that I'm curious about. It's the only thing that I don't have in right now. So when Kevin Love has been on, he's played 215 minutes. He has a 17% usage rate. That works for me. All right, so this game's in the books here. Yeah, we like the Miami side of this one. $7,900 Bam here against Tillman and basically nobody else. He's too cheap in a pace up spot. I think Hero for $6,900 is too cheap as well. I don't mind going to Jimmy Butler. Like, he's obviously good. Not a guy that grades out well for me all that frequently, but I think we need to pay closer attention to Butler today too. But Bam is the clear best piece. Clear best piece. And the best thing that we've looked at so far. He's going to grade out really well. Even if Like, I probably have him a little over projected for where he's at. This is a great pace spot. Hero for 6,900 too. Yeah, I just like Miami. I can't imagine we like Memphis. Yeah, that's sort of what I expected from Memphis. Look at how close that is. 12% boom to 16% boom for their 6 main guys. Bane, Jones, Brooks, Jackson, Tillman, Aldama. So, like, basically, you want to go to Bam and or Hero. And then you probably just want to pick one of the other Memphis guys, and you'll feel pretty good there. Okay, so that's 2 games down. Making good time so far. We're only at 652. Hit that like button if you haven't done it already. Only 91 of you in here today. You would think it's a better spot. It's hump day. Everybody loves a good hump. Sacramento, 1-point favorites in Chicago, 239 total. Now, this is the first game we're looking at where if anybody's out, I think that's going to have a big time effect. For the Kings, it's the Q tag on Trey Lyles. We don't know the status of the suspension yet, if it's happening. So I actually don't have much to change here. We've got 35 for Fox. We've got 35 for the Barnacle of the Bay. We've got 35 for Domantas Sabonis. I can probably make a case that should be 36 for Sabonis, but I'm not going to do that. 13 for Metu. That's just straight Saboner backup. Keegan Murray's minutes have been down a little bit as of late. We're going to bring him down to 27. We're going to bump Trey Lyles up to 21. We've got 29 for Herter and 21 for Monk. We're going to make that 28 for Herter. It's another minute for Kessler Edwards. Edwards played 18 on Monday. I don't really see, I'm not taking those minutes away from Harry B. That's for sure. So that's going to be Sacramento. Do we get anything interesting for the Bulls or Chicago? No, it's their standard rotation. Okay, so not much to add here. It's a shame we're going to waste this game because I'm guessing the salaries aren't going to be all that interesting here. We got 30 minutes for Beverly. That seems fine. 19 minutes for Dosunmu seems fine enough. I got 34 for Vooch. That works. 36 for Levine. That works. 36 for DeMar. That works. Caruso in for 25. Patrick Williams in for 24. All that seems fine. And then Kobe White, I got in for 23. I don't like that all that much, but there's nowhere else to put those minutes. I guess I could take one of them away and give it to Patrick Williams. Elvie, thanks for being here. Good to see you. Glad you were able to stop by. For Keegan, he's been on a bit of a downswing since, the beginning of February. Could say that he's getting a little tired. He had a little bit of a peak there. But most recent games haven't been the best, including his most recent game. Very, very negative EPM for that one. But, there's something there. But he has been on a bit of a negative stretch. Look, rookies get tired. It's a long season. He'll have plenty of time to get rested up once Sacramento loses in the first round. All right. For the Bulls, I wouldn't say that there's a priority, but they look pretty good here. DeRozan, Levine, Vooch. I think you can go any direction there. I think DeRozan is actually the best option, $300 cheaper than Levine. But I think they're very close. Vooch looks good. He's got to compete with Bam, and Bam is just a way, way better play. If you need value, $3,400 Caruso is totally fine. We'll end up having value that looks better, but, he's worth a shot. For Sacramento, Barnacle of the Bay at 4,800 is the guy that I have the most interest in. Fox at 8,900 just feels a little underpriced, especially in this spot. So don't have a huge interest in Sabonis, but he's clearly fine. Don't have a huge interest in Murray, but he's fine. It's a good game to target, but there's too many different individual options to feel confident. We now go to the Lakers. This one's going to matter. This is where we start to get value. Lakers are 2.5. Here's how ridiculous this is. The Lakers are 2.5-point favorites today in Houston, 234 total, and Anthony Davis isn't playing. That's how bad Houston is. AD and LeBron are both out, and they're still favorites. Now, this is going to be, I assume, the most ridiculous spot so far. Just kind of has to be. No AD. At least they have Russell this time. That certainly is going to help. Do we get Wenyen Gabriel starting? That's the real question to me. Do they start? I think they probably can start Wenyen Gabriel alongside Jared Vanderbilt. I mean, clearly Mo Bamba is going to play. All right, when they played this game on the 1st, what did that rotation really look like? So March 1st, Lakers took on Oklahoma City, won by 6. They started Bamba and brought Gabriel off the bench, which is interesting. I wonder if they start Bamba again. I think they might. I think they might. So let's say we get... Am I missing somebody on this team? Is Bamba out? Is that the problem? Oh, Bamba sprained his ankle. Ignore me. Well, none of that matters because there is no Mo Bamba. And that really opens them up for anything. That sucks. That sucks. Because they don't really have a center now. Because now anybody can start. I don't know when I missed that he got hurt. I thought they just weren't playing him. I guess that all basically has been since I was out last week. So that fixes that one pretty quickly. They just have so many like guys now, whether that's Vanderbilt, Rui, Gabriel. I mean, those are really the only 3 guys that can conceivably play the 5 today. There's going to be a lot to go around here for this Lakers team. So I think at a minimum, we need to get Wenyen Gabriel to 20 minutes. Oh, man. This is not easy. This is not easy at all. $33 minutes for D'Angelo Russell, I feel okay with. 28 minutes for Schroeder, I feel okay with. This really is an exercise in just figuring out the big man minutes and getting it right. I think I got to go 24 minutes to Wenyen Gabriel. And then I think that it's going to be, another chunk of playing time to Rui. I think Vanderbilt is going to have to play more than you would normally expect. I think we can get like 28 out of Rui. I think we're live to see Wenyen Gabriel play a little bit more, but I think 24 has to sort of work. Troy Brown's going to play more. That seems like an absolute no-brainer. We're going to get him in for 31. I honestly feel like I might even need to go an extra minute here to Vanderbilt, but maybe not. Oh, man, where are these minutes going to go? Lonnie Walker probably just steps into the rotation at that point. Maybe we get a little bit more Reeves. We do like And probably a little bit more Beasley as well. In like 11 minutes, Delanie Walker. I mean, rates are going to just be truly preposterous here, too. There's so much usage to go around on this team. Like, if you take, as weird as this sounds, I might actually leave. No, I'm not going to be able to leave Russ on as a proxy. If I take LeBron and AD off, like, obviously those two guys need to come off, but Westbrook has a 35% usage rate in that time, and that's just not going to, that's not going to work. I can't leave Westbrook on as a Russell proxy. We also have like Thomas Bryant minutes. This team, man, I don't have a great feel for projecting this. If I take Russell Westbrook off along with LeBron and AD, I'm just not going to have a big enough sample. I mean, for some of these guys, I might. Yeah, like Schroeder, I do. He gets up to a 28% usage rate, but now he's coming off the bench, so I don't trust that as much. I mean, D'Angelo Russell is going to shoot the living hell out of the ball. Because he's the guy, right? Like, what does D'Angelo Russell's usage rate look like in Minnesota when Ant was off and Towns was off? Or at the very least, Ant. So if I put, I want to know how high he can conceivably get. So if I put D'Angelo Russell on and I take Anthony Edwards off, what was Russell's usage rate? He played 399 minutes like that, got to 25%. Jalen Noel soaked some up. Naz Reid soaked some up. So I think that we could say probably something in that 25.5 range. I'm certainly going to bump up Dennis Schroeder. I think he's got to probably go up to like 25 as well. Lonnie Walker probably gets a bump. Malik Beasley probably gets a bump. Austin Reeves probably soaks up a little bit extra usage. Rui sorta is that guy. Troy Brown, I'm sure, isn't. No, he's not. Wenyen Gabriel is not. He actually has somehow used less possessions in those scenarios. Vanderbilt have a big enough sample yet? 81 minutes, 13% usage rate. So we can hold him in the same spot. I don't mind bumping Beasley or Rui. Not going to bump Troy Brown. My real question is just how high I want to go on Schroeder. We might have to tweak that once we see how he projects. The rest of this seems all fine. If I go assist rate, I don't have to move. I do have to bring Schroeder down a little bit, which I think makes some sense. We're also going to bump up Reeves. Rebounding rate might actually be interesting. Wenyen Gabriel does pull down a couple extra boards. Vanderbilt is basically the same. All right, that's what we're going to use for the Lakers for right now. Then we look at Houston. And we know Houston had no Şengün last time out. He's questionable today. No real way for us to feel here. We know that we need to get Şengün back in. Şengün plays about 29 minutes a night. We get Usman Garuba in for like 11. We get Jabari Smith in for 33. I got Tari Eason in for 28. I don't totally trust that because those minutes had started to come down a little bit. We're going to take that down to 26. 31 to KPJ. That number needs to go up. We're going to get him in for 33. Josh Christopher's minutes have come down quite a bit. Jayshawn Tate can stay at 23. Jalen Green needs to go to 33. Looks like they went back to Ty Washington. So let's get both of those guys out there. That should be fine. Rates all stay the same. Did I leave Şengün's in there? No, these rates can't stay the same. That makes no sense. Houston, Eric Gordon off. Jalen Green, Alperen Şengün, and KPJ, and we'll say at least one of them, or at least two of those three guys are on the floor. Mark, Usman, for sure. Hard to say anything other than Usman. All right, Şengün, right around a 20% usage rate. Jabari Smith is at around 18.5. Jayshawn Tate is at 15.5. Wow, Jayshawn Tate just really not participating in the offense when everybody's healthy. Jalen Green's around 29. Kmart is around 15. KPJ is at 24 and change. And then Tari Eason at about 17. Let's see where we end up here. Okay, so for Houston, we got to remember, this is a fast-paced game, and there is not going to be a lot of rim protection here in LA. So I like KPJ. I like Jalen Green. I like Alperen Şengün. I don't mind going to Jabari or Kmart or Tari Eason. But the main three guys at 7K, 7,100, and 7,200, that's where we want to go for Houston today. Now, if we end up not getting Şengün and we get Tari Eason starting again, by all means, put in all of the Tari Eason that you can get to. Jabari Smith at that point will look a little bit better as well. And you're probably going to get to more Green and Porter. This is a great spot for Houston, man. Great spot. Wild that for the Lakers, we don't like them as much as I thought we would. I think Rui is probably the guy we like the most at 4,500. Clearly taking a shot at Wenyen Gabriel feels good, but he's not that kind of per minute guy. Schroeder's already 6,300. Like, we want to get to the Lakers for sure, but they do not look as good as I expected them to. I thought they would look a little bit better than this. You're going to get a Laker in every lineup, and you're going to want to target this game. But no crazy Lakers priorities. I honestly think that Rui is the best option, and that doesn't make me feel great. As we look at this slate so far, Bam is the clear top play. KPJ and Tyler Hero are probably the two next guys. And then we've got this little group of Rui, Şengün, Garland, Jalen Green, Harrison Barnes. 3 games to go. Boston Celtics, 5-point favorites in Minnesota, 233 total. For Boston. Jaylen Brown is in, still no Time Lord. This is your standard Boston rotation, I guess. I got 37 minutes in for Brown and Tatum. You could make a real case it should be 38. I got Horford in for 32 minutes. I got Smart in for 33 minutes. I got Derek White in for 32 minutes. Brogdon in for 26. I'm going to take 1 minute away from Derek White and give it to Brogdon, get him to 26. Hauser's been playing a little bit more. Grant Williams is barely playing. Blake is barely playing. They gave Cornette a rotation last time out. I assume one of Tatum or Brown looked good today. And then we look at Minnesota. Minnesota had no Naz Reid this most recent game. I don't think that's going to matter here for today. I mean, like, he could end up out. He is questionable, but it doesn't affect analysis. Q-tag once again on Rudy Gobert. Q-tag on Rivers. Q-tag on Reid. This is going to be our standard Minnesota rotation. We're not going to be making any changes there. We are going to take Anthony Edwards back up to 37 minutes. We've got Mike Conley in for 31. Jaden McDaniels in for 31. Kyle Anderson needs to go to 32. Taurean Prince can maintain his minutes there. We'll take another one off of Rivers. McLaughlin in for 16. 31 for Gobert. 17 for Naz Reid. Boston and Minnesota is an easy game to project. And if this one stays competitive, it's a sneaky, interesting spot, I think. So as we look at Minnesota, love Ant, once again, 9,400, shooting guard, small forward, playing big minutes. If it stays competitive, you assume he's in a duel with one of the wings. I don't mind Gobert at 7,400. He's just not going to look as good as Bam. Anderson and McDaniels both totally fine. Does Boston get any benefit from facing Minnesota? Yes and no. They all look okay. Jaylen Brown, probably a slight lean over Tatum. Tatum at 11K is a big number. $5,400 Marcus Smart is interesting for today. Horford's fine. White's fine. You know, you like to get to one of their main six. No priorities. No priorities, though. As we look at it here, Anthony Edwards pops into the 6th spot, and he's in that pack with Rui, Şengün, Anthony Edwards, Garland, Jalen Green. I think Anthony Edwards might be the best pay-up option so far today. He's the highest ranked guy I have above 9K, and I don't think that it's close. Jaylen Brown knocking on the door. I guess I prefer Tatum to Embiid just because of price and positionality. But I don't really love the true pay-up options so far today. We'll see if that changes for Dallas or Golden State or the Clippers. Let's go to Dallas now. Okay. D-Russ usage more like 30-ish. It's possible. We haven't seen that, though. That's the thing. Like, he didn't do that when Anthony Edwards was off the floor in Minnesota. So I don't know if I could really just assume that he's going to do that. Jalen Noel gets some usage, but I feel like Jalen Noel is a decent proxy for Dennis Schroeder. Do I think that D'Angelo Russell is probably going to shoot more? Like, on the surface, it feels like he will, but I don't think that we have anything that shows that. I guess I could look at one thing. How many minutes has he played? Like, there's no way that he's played with AD off for more than like 10 minutes so far in LA. Yeah, he's played 7 minutes without AD on 26% usage rate. Can't really read into that. Let's look at Dallas now. Dallas, 5.5-point favorites in San Antonio, 239 total. We got a Q tag on Kyrie, no Luka. Q tag on Tim Hardaway, Q tag on Christian Wood. I mean, this game is a true disaster because all of that information matters. It's all very, very important. Yeah, hit that like button for the 130 people here. We have to assume Kyrie is playing. So we got to scratch this entire rotation. So we're going to go 37 minutes to Kyrie. I assume we're getting Tim Hardaway Jr. in for 33. Oh, S&P, I'm with you. I'm with you. I don't have a great feel for it. Like, it's certainly not easy. I'm anxious to see what like the rest of the industry is doing. I think as a baseline, that's about as good as you could hope for right now. All right, so when we get Hardaway, we need Reggie Bullock. Bullock in for 32 minutes, I guess. 33 minutes. Won't really matter. It's Reggie Bullock. Then we get Josh Green. Maybe 30. And then I assume we're going to get White Powell for 19. We'll get Christian Wood for 19. And then we get Maxey for 25. Backup point guard run. Well, we got to get what? Justin Holiday, maybe Jaden Hardy. Although Hardy probably not playing in this one. Justin Holiday, we got to get in for like 16 minutes or something. That's 8 spots. It seems like they're using Bertans now. But maybe that's just in games where these guys are missing. What do I want to do with these final 28 minutes? I don't think it's Jaden Hardy. Like if the last time that Kyrie played, Luka also played. Jaden Hardy got 17 minutes, but that was no Maxey, no Bullock. I guess we're probably going to get maybe we do get Hardy and Bertans. Is that the way that we want to go here? I think that's probably best. We do something like that. Now we need to get Kyrie's rates here. Not the biggest sample in the world for Kyrie on, Luka off. What's going to be like 100 minutes? 184 minutes for Kyrie, oddly enough. So Kyrie, in those 184 minutes, 28% usage rate. That feels wildly incorrect. Tim Hardaway gets to 21. Christian Wood gets up over 30. That feels about right. It's got to go higher than that, right? All right, so for Brooklyn, when Kyrie was on and Durant was off, how big of a usage rate did we get? So Kyrie played 677 minutes in that scenario. He got up to 33% usage. So I'm going to bump Kyrie here. We're going to say that was too small of a sample. We're going to take Kyrie up to 31. I think a little bit lighter than Brooklyn makes the most sense. Then you still get Christian Wood out there for a big rate. That's still leaving a lot of usage on the table. That's how weird this team is. So if I then look at Dallas with Luka just off, and then let's say one of Spencer Dinwiddie or Kyrie Irving played in the game. Because I think Spencer Dinwiddie on Dallas is probably a decent proxy for Kyrie. That should at least let us get a decent enough sample for the rest of the guys. Oh, that's Luka on. Whoops. Luka off. That's easier. Oh, I just want to stop being congested, man. This is starting to get really annoying. All right, so Dinwiddie, when he was with Dallas and Luka was off, had a 30% usage rate. I think saying Kyrie becomes that guy makes the most sense. At that point, Tim Hardaway goes to 25% usage with Luka off and either one of Irving or Dinwiddie on. So I do think that we need to bump up Hardaway a little bit. Christian Wood was at 31 for either one of those guys. So that seems like he holds there. Now this is starting to come together a little bit. Reggie Bullock doesn't do shit. He's got a 9% usage rate in this time. So we're going to go to 10. We'll go Josh Green. Goes to 15-3. Who soaks it up that I don't really realize? I guess Jaden Hardy is already happening. Maxey has no usage in this scenario either. Definitely don't want to give him a bump. Does Powell get any sort of bump? Not really. He should stay the same. Let Bertans soak up some of that because I won't get him. Same situation for Justin Holiday. I just won't get those guys. All right, so that's going to be Dallas. The problem here is that they're facing San Antonio. And when you're facing San Antonio, you just have good things. Now, what really sucks here is that San Antonio is on a back-to-back. This is a real disaster scenario. So we didn't see Keldon Johnson yesterday. He also missed on Sunday. We didn't have Malachi Branham or Trey Jones. There's no telling who's playing here today. I assume Devin Vassell is not playing. But I don't even know where we begin to project this team. Other than saying, like, I'm pretty confident we don't... Like, Devin Vassell, I assume, isn't playing at all. I'm guessing Zach Collins doesn't play either. I think Zach Collins pretty regularly sits out back-to-backs. Could be wrong. I think we're going to get Romeo Langford back here, too. I mean, this is just a crapshoot for today. And the problem is, they could look decent, depending on who's in. Zach Collins. Reference. So Zach Collins game logs. Has he been playing back-to-backs? He did not play on the 5th. They played on the 4th. Previous back-to-back, he did play. Okay, so he has been playing back-to-backs. So I'm going to assume that Zach Collins is playing. Or did he get... No, Bassey got hurt yesterday, right? So Bassey's definitely not playing. Look, here's what's really crazy. If Zach Collins somehow didn't play today, then that gets pretty insane. I think we have to assume that Collins is playing. I don't know why we wouldn't. Unless there's been... Did anybody say... Like, did anything get said about Zach Collins not playing today? It'd be like gorgeous dong time. All right, I'm going to give Collins 29 minutes. No, it was his patella, I believe. Yeah, it was... From what I saw in the report, it was his patella. Okay, starting point guard. We don't know the status of Trey Jones. He's questionable with an illness. He didn't play yesterday. I'm going to assume he plays today. And I'm going to give him 26 minutes. Sohan played yesterday. He didn't play that back-to-back before. I can't imagine they're sitting Sohan on back-to-backs, but maybe they are. If I look at Sohan's game logs, I don't know why I'm spending so much time on this like it matters right now. Last back-to-back they had before this, he actually didn't sit, or he didn't play the second half of that back-to-back. I'm going to leave Sohan out of this, which is going to make this even worse. I guess we need to assume that Keldon Johnson plays. We have to assume that Malachi Branham plays. And from what I understand, Romeo Langford's going to play. Mamu seemed like he has to play. I think we're going to get Dominic Barlow as the backup center. In theory, they could play Gorgie Jang. They don't seem to ever want to do that. But let's give Gorgie Jang some run. Let's give Dominic Barlow some run. McBuckets. Does McBuckets not normally play back-to-backs? This is awful. This is really, truly not fun to project. And it has such an important impact. Okay, so McBuckets didn't play either game of the back-to-back in the most recent time. He sat the back end of the back-to-back in February. He played a back-to-back in January. I think McBuckets probably plays today. So let's get Dougie in for 24. I assume we're just going to get Devontae Graham in for, something in that 24 range. That lets us get Romeo Langford in for some sort of stupid 24-minute projection. And then I'm going to chop these final minutes between Keita Bates, Diop. If Keldon's in and Sohan's in, I guess I left Sohan out. I don't know what we're doing here, guys. I mean, this is a true, complete crapshoot. All right, here's what we've got for San Antonio. If Keldon Johnson plays, he looks good at 6,700. If Zach Collins plays, he looks good at 6,500. If Trey Jones plays, he looks good at 5,100. And if Romeo Langford plays, he actually looks good at the flat minimum. That's not ideal. There are worse. I mean, he's shooting guard, small forward, flat 3K. Oh, I didn't project Mamu with any minutes. Oy. Okay. We got to get Mamu 20 minutes. Who are they going to come from? Maybe they don't need Gorgie Jeng. Could take those minutes away from Blake Wesley. That'll let me get 16 to Keita Bates Diop and then 20 to Mamu. Who knows? All right, $3,100 Mamu could be interesting. That said, if he's not starting, you're going to have a really hard time wanting to get to any sort of volume here. But because they have, obviously we don't get Bassey, but Kem Birch is questionable. Kem Birch could just play today. We just need their info. I don't even know why I care right now. Zach Collins, Keldon Johnson, Trey Jones. If they're in, their family. All right, Dallas. I like Kyrie at 10-2. Assuming he's playing, he should carve up San Antonio. After that, it's gross. Jaden Hardy is 5,500 now, but if Kyrie is out, you'll have a bit of a shot. Wow, that is a disgusting, disgusting game to talk about. It's going to ruin crunches, too. All right, Golden State, final game. Hit that like button if you haven't done it already. Warriors are 3-point dogs in LA, taking on the Clippers. I think this one's pretty easy. Sir Manning, I'm not going anywhere. We're here tomorrow. Probable tag on Kuminga. No Wiggins. No Peyton. No Iggy. No problem. This one's simple. We've had no Kuminga again on Monday, but he'll be back in here. We got Looney in for 25 minutes. 35 for Curry. We got a little bit more JaMychal Green, which I don't think is going to continue totally. 30 for Poole. Yeah. 35 for Steph. Yeah. 33 for Clay. Yeah. 32 for DiVincenzo. Yeah. 31 for Dre. Yeah. All right. So no Iggy here. We're going to have to get Moses Moody for a decent chunk of playing time. Sir Manning, that's next week. That'll be next week. So let's go 14 minutes to Moody. That'll get JaMychal Green to 17. No rates to change here for Golden State. I can't imagine they're going to look good either. So we close it out with the LA Clippers. For the Clippers, Norm Powell still out, Brandon Boston out. Not that that matters. I feel like I haven't projected the Clippers in a very long time. Russ minutes have been down for the past 2 games. They have not been down for Kawhi and Paul George. Kawhi back into that 37-minute-a-night role. Paul George playing 36 minutes a night for sure. We're going to take Russ down to 28. We got 22 for Terrence Mann. I got Batum in for 22. That needs to become 18. We got Mason Plumlee in for 20. Feels about right. We got Zubats in for 25. I'll make that 26. Marcus Morris in for 24. That needs to go up to 27. And then 26 for Eric Gordon. Yep. Clippers good. Clippers good as well. So, really like Kawhi for 9K. Certainly don't hate getting to Paul George for 8,800. Definitely like the 2 Clippers guys better than a lot of the pay-ups that we saw. $3,800 Marcus Morris is, a solid enough value option. Russ at 6,900 you should avoid. For Golden State, absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, time to run some crunches, folks. Let's save it. Let's make sure that we hit that like button if we haven't done it already. We got to run a crunch. We know the first crunch that we're running. We're heading to FanDuel. Now, obviously, this is a very preliminary crunch because there's some spots here that are kind of gross. But what do we see on FanDuel for today? $316.47. It's the optimal by 0.02. We have Marcus Smart, Tyus Jones, Kyrie, Malik Beasley, Keldon Johnson, Tim Hardaway, Zach Collins, Rui Hachimura, and Bam Adebayo. None of that is really all that crazy to me. We swap out, it's a 2v2 of Marcus Smart and Zach Collins for Jalen Green and Jared Vanderbilt. What do we got for power rankings? Looking like it's going to be either Kyrie or Rui at the top of the list. Probably more likely to be Rui, just from a value perspective. Kyrie's got a shot. Who will it be coming down the stretch? Looks like Kyrie outran him. There we go. Kyrie Irving, going to be your number 1 contender. Rui Hachimura, Tim Hardaway Jr., Malik Beasley, and Bam Adebayo rounded out. Barnes, Smart, Vanderbilt, Jalen Green, and Tyus Jones are your top 10 on FanDuel for today. Now we head to DraftKings. I forgot it was the NCAA tournament, Mark. That's kind of crazy. There was a time in my life where I would have been taken off school for the next 4 days. Well, at least the next 2, obviously. All right, DraftKings. DraftKings Optimal. $283.54. It's the optimal by 0.55. Now, this is where it starts to become problematic. KPJ, Romeo Langford, Keldon Johnson, Rui, Bam, Trey Jones, Kawhi Leonard, Zach Collins. 4 Spurs is really just annoying. But if Romeo Langford is back, like this is a guy, like I gave him 24 minutes. He becomes a very interesting play. We're talking about needing what? 25 fantasy points on a day like today at the flat 3K. We know that he can do it. We know that he can do it. Especially if half of these guys are out. But like, there's no way for us to know anything for the Spurs right now. Power rankings for the Spurs. Now, this makes me feel a little bit better. If Romeo Langford can just stay out of like the top couple, this will make me feel a lot better. And wow, look at how flat DraftKings is today. Whew. Looks like Bam is going to be at the top. Could be Kawhi. It's going to be close. Going to be Bam Adebayo, number 1. Kawhi Leonard, 2. Tyler Hero, 3. Keldon Johnson, 4. KPJ, 5. That I actually like. Assuming Keldon Johnson plays, I like that top 5 a lot. I think that's very representative of the way that I feel about this slate. Rui, Trey Jones, Jalen Green, Harrison Barnes, Romeo Langford round out the bottom half of the top 10. I don't see anything there that drives me nuts either. But then you get Edwards, Garland, Kyrie, Collins, Paul George, Jaylen Brown, DeMar DeRozan, like that area. Smart, Gobert, Levine, a lot of names in the like above average territory for today. Whew. What a slate, guys. What a slate. We got a hell of a slate here for today. Remember, we start a half hour late. Lock is at 7:30 tonight. So deeper dive will be at 5:30. And then live before lock will be at 6:30. Again, Adam and I will be on the deeper dive tonight. You're going to get all of the prize picks, no house advantage, and contenders videos from me over the next few hours. So keep your eyes peeled. Prize picks will be the first one out. Make sure you're watching that as fast as you can. Those lines will move. Yes, Ross, I am back today at 5:30. I'm on the deeper dive today and tomorrow with Adam. So make sure you're watching. That's all I got, though, folks. Thank you guys for being here. Fun one. Hopefully tomorrow I can breathe through my nose a little bit better than I can today. It went better. It's definitely getting better each day. All we can hope for. I've been drinking as much fluids as I can, putting down kombuchas and Gatorades and waters. So I think one more day I might be able to breathe a little bit better. Good luck, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'll talk to you later. This was The Process.